Welcome to our lesson on order of operations. Order of operations is when you have the operations adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. You'll have a problem with all of these or some of these operations, and you'll have to determine what order do I solve these in. Do I add first? Do I multiply? Do I divide or subtract? You're going to have parentheses, brackets, or you may have braces in the expression or the problem. And you'll have to evaluate using these symbols along with brackets, braces. It could be all of them or it could just be one or the other. So there are some rules for the order of operations, and in order for you to remember the rules, I have created an acronym to help you along the way. The acronym is called Pemdas, and it's used, the way it is created is by the rules in the order of operations is the beginning letter. The first rule would be if you saw a long problem with all of this in there, the first thing you would look for is your parenthesis. The parenthesis begins with a P. The second thing you would look for is a number that has an exponent. The third thing that you would look for in the problem is a multiplication symbol or a division symbol. And the fourth thing you would look for is adding or subtracting. You will notice that for multiplication and division, I did not put them one word underneath the other. I put them side by side, and there was a reason. The reason for that is whenever you have a multiplication symbol and then you have a division symbol, you always choose which one to do as if you were reading a book. If you were sitting here looking at a book, you would read it from left to right. So multiply or divide from left to right. And the same rule applies for addition and subtraction. You would choose the operation as if you're reading a book from left to right, meaning that if the multiplication symbol is on the left, then that's the first thing you would do. If that division symbol, if you had a problem like 2 plus 4 times 6, and then you had 2 times 4 divided by 6, you would always do the left problem, the left first, before you did the right. In this case, you would do the left, as if you were reading a book. Let's start with these two problems that I have down at the bottom. I did the same, I wrote the exact same problem just to let you know that if you do not use the order of operations, it will not be the right answer. If you're someone and you saw this problem and you didn't know anything about the order of operations, basically you would just say 10 plus 2 is 12, and you would take that 12 and multiply it by 6. Well, we all know that 12 times 6 is equal to 72. Okay, now we're going to go to this one. This problem here, if you observe, is identical to this problem. But this time, I'm not going to work the problem from left to right as if I was reading a book. I'm going to look at this: parentheses, exponent, multiply or divide, add, and subtract. Well, where did I get the acronym Pemdas? I got it from the beginning letters of these. And I would write this P-E-M-D-A-S. And if I'm working this problem using order of operations, I always write this to help me know this is step 1, this is step 2, 3, and 4. Okay, step 1 is parentheses. When I'm looking at this problem, I don't see a parenthesis, so I'll mark through that one. Do you see an exponent? No, you don't. So we're going to mark through our E. The M represents multiplication, and I do see a multiplication symbol. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle my M, and I'm going to circle the multiplication problem. only that part of the problem with the multiplication symbol in it. That is all I'm going to work. Everything else, I'm basically copying it down. So I'm going to copy down the 10. I'm going to copy down that plus symbol. But instead of me copying down the 2 times 6, I'm going to actually multiply it. 2 times 6 gives me 12, so I'll write the answer there. Okay, now I'm still looking at this to help me guide through the order of operations. Do I see a division symbol in here? No, I don't. So I'm going to mark through it. Do I see an addition symbol? Yes, I do. But now I'm no longer looking at my original problem. I'm looking at the second row. I'm going to circle my A for addition. And now that this is a plus symbol there to represent addition, that's all I need to do is add 10 plus 12. This 10 plus 12 gives me 22. And that's my final answer. But I want you to notice something really quick here. You see an answer here? But you also see an answer here. Same problem. 10 plus 2 times 6. 10 plus 2 times 6. The answers are different. And the reason why is because in this one, they added first and multiplied as if they were reading a book. They did the operations from left to right. However, here they use Pemdas, which is what you should use whenever you have a bunch of different operations. Let's try some more. Okay, like I said, I always start by writing Pemdas, and that lets me know those are my steps. P E M D A S. Now let's look at the problem. Wow, that's a long problem. You have a lot of operations. I see division symbol or addition. I see parentheses. I see multiplication symbol, another multiplication. I see an exponent, an addition symbol. Now I have to solve it, but I'm going to solve it using the order of operation, utilizing the acronym Pemdas. Step 1, parentheses. Look in the problem. Is there a parentheses? Yes, it is. I'm going to circle my P and I'm going to circle my parentheses. That P is for parentheses. That lets me know I am doing step 1. Everything else, I'm just basically copying it down. 60 divided by 6 plus. Okay, what is in parentheses? 4 times 6, 24. I'm bringing down my multiplication symbol. 2 to the third plus 18. Still got a lot to do. Now look at your second row. Your second row, you're looking for what step 2? Exponent. That E stands for exponent. So I have an exponent here. I'm going to circle my E for exponent, and I'm going to circle my exponent problem in the actual expression. So once again, I copy everything down except for what I just circled. What did I just circle? 2 to the third. 2 to the third is the same as 2 times 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2? 4. 4 times 2 is 8. So my answer would be 8. So 8 would go here, plus 18. Wow, I still have a lot of plus, multiplication, plus, division symbol. And step 3 is multiply or divide. But remember, it has to be from left to right. So I look at a multiplication symbol, and the first multiplication I symbol see is right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle my M here and circle my multiplication problem in the expression. Here is my multiplication symbol right there. I don't see a multiplication symbol anywhere else. I only see plus symbols and division. So that is the only thing I'm going to do in that step. Everything else, I'm basically writing it, copying it down. I'm copying down a 60, a division symbol, a 6, a plus symbol. But now I got to multiply 24 times 8. 24 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. Carry my 3. 8 times 2 is 16. Plus that 3 makes 19. Now I have 192. Once again, I copy my plus symbol and my 18. What am I left with? A plus, and a division symbol. So far, I have circled the P in Pemdas, the E in Pemdas, the M in Pemdas. Is there a D? Yes, it is. There's a division symbol right there. So let's go ahead and circle that. I'm circling the D. And I need to find that division symbol and circle that as well. What do we have? 60 divided by 6. And that gives us 10. 10 plus everything else. Basically, what do we say? Just copy it down. What are you left with next? 2 addition symbols. Okay. So we're going to circle our addition. That's step 4. And I see 2. So what do? We add whatever's on the left side first and then to the right. So I'm going to add the 10 plus the 192 first. That would give me 202 plus 18. 202 plus 18. 202 and 18. 10. Carrier 1, 2, and 2. That gives me 220. So my final answer is 220. Let's try another one. What do you always start with? We know that it's order of operations and our acronym is called Pemdas. Pemdas. Why am I writing it? Because it helps me put these operations in order. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4. Parentheses, that's the first step. I'm circling my parentheses and I can begin copying down everything else except for that parentheses. I'm going to solve that. 3 times 9 is 27. What's next? Okay, I'm done with my parentheses. Now I need to look at the next step. The E, that stands for exponent. I see an exponent here. 3 to the 3rd power. Do a little work down here. 3 to the 3rd power is 3 times 3 times 3. That means you take that 3 and you multiply it 3 different times. 3 times 3 here gives me a 9. 9 times 3 is 27. So that 27 goes right underneath 3 to the 2nd power, and everything else I just copy it down. Okay, did I take care of my exponent? I did, so I can circle that. Now we're looking for multiplying or dividing. I do see a multiplication symbol and a division symbol, but right here we are going to multiply. And the reason why we're multiplying first is because the M, it comes before the D and it's not directly next to the division symbol. If that division symbol was there, then you would divide first because it's on the left side. Okay, 27 times 27. 729 goes underneath. If you notice, the answer always goes up under what you have circled. Everything else you just copy it down. We've multiplied. Now we need to, the D stands for division, so we need to divide. 21 divided by 3, that gives us 7 plus 729 plus the 5. All we have left now is an addition symbol. We don't see any subtraction. I can cross that out and circle my A here. Do we go left to right? Always. Yes, so the first one we would do is 7 plus 7, 29. 7 and 9 is 16. Carry my 1. 2 and 1 is 3. 736 plus 5. And that will give you 741, which is your answer. And that concludes our lesson on order of operations.